The story is told of a famous chess champion who was on vacation in Europe, and he really liked the arts. He really loved arts, and so while he was on vacation, he visited a number of art galleries. And upon perusing through the different art galleries, he ran across a picture that both mesmerized and stupefied him. It was a really, really, really intriguing picture. And the picture was a picture of a chess game in progress. And being that the chess champion is a champion of chess, he was drawn into this picture not because of the game being played, but because on one end there was a picture of a young man who was horrified, who was sweating bullets, who was jittering and shaking, and he was biting his fingernails, and he was in complete horror. On the other end was a picture of the devil. The devil, he was laughing, and he was full of hilarity and glee, and he was just full of joy. And it became evident what was going on in the midst of this chess game when the chess player, he read the caption above the top of the painting, which was called checkmate, because it was one move left to be made, and it looked like the devil was about to make the final move to win this young man's soul. Well, the chess champion, he thought this particular painting was really, really intriguing, and so he found one of the proprietors of the art gallery, and he asked him if he had an old chessboard. And so they found a chessboard, and he took the chessboard and he laid it at the base of the painting, and he arranged the components just as they were in the painting. He lined them up identical to each other. So he stared down at the chessboard, and he would look back up at the painting. He would stare down at the chessboard, and he would look back up at the painting. He stared down at the chessboard, and he looked back up at the painting again, and after a while he began to laugh. He looked at the picture of the young man, and he said, "Mister, I sure wish you could hear me right now, because I got some good news for you. Because your enemy has miscalculated. There's one move left to make on this chessboard in this chess game, and you, not he, gets to make that final move." Now, you see, to understand this in its entirety, you actually have to kind of understand the origin of this spiritual warfare. You see, a lot of us has been duped into thinking that the devil is winning. We've been duped into thinking that we're just puppets on his string. We've been duped into thinking that he gets to control our livelihoods, our peace, our prosperity, our joy, and he gets to just call the shots. Well, let me take you back to the origin of where this chess game started. Well, it first started when God, he made the first move by creating the angels. Well, then there was a counter move that was made by Lucifer, which was in the rebellion against God, and he took 1/3 of the angels that was in heaven with him. And so then God, he makes a counter move by the creation of man, just a little bit lower than the angels. And so then the devil, he makes a counter move by cutting off their godly connection by tempting Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And so then God, he makes a counter move by the redemptive covering that he establishes to be able to create that godly connection between God and man again. And so then the devil, he makes a counter move by getting Cain to kill Abel. And so then God, he makes a counter move by the birth of Seth, which Seth was used to be able to preach the word of God again. And so then the devil, he makes a counter move by the birth of Nimrod, who was the founder of the Tower of Babel, which was built in complete defiance of God. And so then God, he makes a counter move by finding a man named Abraham in the Chaldeans, and he tells him, "I'm going to use you to create a nation who's going to obey." And so then the devil, he makes a counter move by getting God's people trapped into Egypt. And so then God, he makes a counter move by the birth of Moses, and he takes Moses and he tells you, "I want you to go, and I want you to tell Pharaoh to let my people go." So the whole Old Testament is move, counter move, move, counter move, move, counter move, move, counter move, to where you get 400 silent years between the Old Testament and the New Testament, to where you don't know who's winning this game. And so then God, he makes a move through the birth of Jesus Christ, And then the devil, he makes a counter move through the temptation of Jesus. But God makes a counter move by Jesus overcoming the temptation of the devil. So then the devil makes his final move, which was having Jesus nailed to a cross to forever eliminate the connection of God and man. But then that's when God makes a counter move that the devil wasn't banking on. And that's when the final move is made. Because early one Sunday morning, a little bit before dawn, God makes the final move through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The victory that was established on the cross. And that final move leaves one move left on the chessboard. And you, not the devil, gets to make that final move.